So we just passed an amazing week filled with some exciting stuff, and especially in the Test cricket we got some interesting stats coming up in this week's episode with batsmen flourishing with runs. We had centuries, we had double centuries, triple centuries, all of it in the previous week. So with that being said, let's take in to this week's episode of Extra Cover. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the previous week was a flourishing week for the batsmen, and what was highlighted out of the lot was the triple century from David Warner, and it took some attention from some legendary batsmen like Brian Lara as well.
Legendary batsman Brian Lara said that he wanted Australian opener David Warner to try and break his world record test score of 400 that he got against England in 2004. Warner was batting on 335 in Australia's second test against Pakistan when captain Tim Paine decided to declare. Paine waited for Warner to cross the 334 run mark, the highest score of former Australian captain Don Bradman and Mark Taylor.
The official player list for the IPL 2020 was drafted in the previous week, and 7 players got their base price over 2 crores, including Sri Lanka's Angelo Matthews.
The Indian Premier League, or the IPL 2020 auction, is slated to take place on December 19 in Kolkata. 971 players from across the globe are expected to go under hammer in the IPL 2020 auction. Ahead of the IPL 2020 auction, quite a few players were traded, while some were retained by their respective franchises. However, the IPL 2020 auction will be a final chance for all the franchises to evaluate their shortcomings and complete their side. Here's a look at the base prices of some marquee players who can add firepower to any franchise. Robin Uthappa, who was surprisingly released by Kolkata Knight Riders for the upcoming edition, has kept his base price at 1.5 crore. It also makes Uthappa the Indian player with the highest base price for the IPL 2020 auction. Sean Marsh, Kane Richardson, Ian Morgan, Jason Roy, Chris Wokes and David Willey have also kept the same base price for the IPL 2020 auction. T20 specialist batsman Chris Lynn, injury-prone but effective fast bowler Dale Steyn, top-ranked test bowler Pat Cummins and premier all-rounder Glenn Maxwell have all kept their base price at 2 crores. Mitchell Marsh, George Hazelwood and Angelo Matthews are the other players who have the same base price.
United States Cricket had their first board of directors meeting at California in the previous week, and they took some important decisions regarding the future of the United States Cricket, including the commencement of a minor T20 league in America.
SA Cricket held its first board of directors meeting in the presence of the newly appointed CEO Ian Higgins on November 22nd in Santa Clara, California. The board ratified some key decisions and plans in an all-day event. USA Cricket and their commercial partner American Cricket Enterprises are all set to start a semi-professional city-based mini-league T20 in 2020. The league will act as a feeder stock of quality domestic players that may be ultimately drafted in the Major League T20, which is supposed to be a far bigger spectacle comprising of some international stars starting from 2021. It is understood that the initial season will have 6 teams from New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Atlanta, Dallas and Chicago.
The South Asian Games are currently underway at Nepal. Now, in that women's cricket category, the match between Nepal and the Maldivian women's cricket teams was especially important in the previous week. Anjali Chand from Nepal picked up 6 wickets without giving away any runs in her 2 overs, making the best figures in the T20 international history.
Nepal brushed aside the Maldives in the first match of the South Asian Games women's cricket competition on Monday. Maldives captain Zuna Mariam won the toss and opted to bat, but the decision backfired as the Maldives were bundled out for just 17 runs. Anjali Chand, who came into bowl in the 7th over, took 6 wickets in the game to help Nepal wrap up the game in the first over. Anjali Chand bowled 2 maiden overs and bagged 6 wickets without conceding a single run of her bowling to register the best bowling figures in any T20 international game.
Now, those are some important things, some interesting facts which we came across in the previous week. So now, let's get into the top 5 incidents which were recorded in the previous week.
Arch up now for 174 balls, and the catch is taken.
That.
Catch! Yeah!
Is that out? Yes, that's what they wanted.
Catch!
Finally.
That looks pretty close. It's been given. Well, he's gone for a launch. What kind of shot is this before the break? Taken easily.
Can't bowl there. Can't bowl. Again onto the pads, and again full toll taken by Marnus Labuschagne.
Lays it off. Placement. And that is the 50 up for Martin.
Goes again, and he's found again.
98. There it is. 2 in 2 weeks for Marnus Labuschagne. Test match century number 2. Beautiful shot from David Warner. It's just classical from David Warner. Weighted, punched.
Obviously, and it's through Gordon. They'll open up with that count.
They've done the job.
Feinig misses it.
This time it's pulled away. The runs are flowing. Immediately calls him through. 200 for David Warner. What an innings, what a player. The second of his test career.
Edged. Yeah, no one there though.
And in the deep.
It's just a flick from Warner. Pulls it away hard on the leg side. Times the ball well and races out towards the rope. Incredible from David Warner. 300. A history-making innings at the Oval. He loves it. The crowd loves it. David Warner.
Oh, that's just picked him off in the ribs.
Slid it into those ribs of Mohammed Rizwan. The bat got thrown straight away out the hands.
And that's it for this week's episode of Extra Cover. Hope you got a fair idea about some interesting news which we came across in the previous week. So with that being said, please do subscribe our channel and please do leave your comments in our comment section as well. So with that being said, it's goodbye from Team Batsman.